Okay, so I got access to Perplexity personal computer, which is basically their answer to the dominance of ChatGPT and Cloud desktop apps. So these pieces of software are quite amazing. They are basically allowing you to use AI models to control or do something useful on your computer. You can use ChatGPT or Cloud desktop versions to create documents or modify files, or in some cases you can even use it to automate some of your most boring tasks. And now I got the version that was designed by Perplexity. So this is very interesting because Perplexity was very innovative company, but recently I think many big AI labs are catching up, and now I would say their offerings are much more interesting, and in many ways they are actually way more affordable. But I want to see what Perplexity computer can do on my computer. Now, just to be clear, this is personal computer. This is not the computer tool, which is the name of a new tool in Perplexity. So personal computer is going to use your computer, your device. It is going to be used as the environment for AI to execute codes, run some terminal commands, or do something. Basically, it is not using the computer somewhere on the server, which is the initial idea of Perplexity computer. But with personal computer, it is running on your device. So I think that's one distinction that I need to clarify. And by the way, if you want to get this piece of software, you need to subscribe to the paid version of Perplexity, and then you can navigate to this link to download the software to your device. And also, it has a relation with the Comet browser, which is something that I will try later, because I heard that Perplexity personal computer can be used to control or work together with a Comet browser, which is very interesting, and I will try that later. So personally, I haven't used Perplexity personal computer much, so I want to see some really cool capabilities of this tool. Okay, so this is the software. As you can see, it is quite familiar. I'm quite familiar with this interface. It is very similar to Cloud and ChatGPT. And also a few days ago, I talked about LM Studio Bionic, which is again similar to Cloud and ChatGPT desktop apps, but it was using open source models. So if you are interested with something that is more local, private, and cheaper, then you can go with that. But for now, I'll just stick with Perplexity for this demo. Now, I will try to create files using Perplexity personal computer. I'm going to just switch to the computer mode. The search mode is apparently still available, but I'll just go with the computer mode. And right now we got only two models from Cloud and GLM. Yeah, I'm hoping that we have access to something like Cloud Sonnet, because it is also able to perform tasks, but I have no idea why Perplexity is not very customizable when it comes to choosing the models. This is very different to the regular search feature on Perplexity, where you can access plenty of models, but for the computer mode, there are only two models. So I'll go with Cloud Opus 5, which is a decent model, a great model. And I will select a particular folder. Okay, let's call this folder Perplexity Personal Computer Test. Okay, there we go. Now it is working on this location on my computer. Now, I want AI to do something like this. I want you to do a research about the trends of electric bicycles in the past 5 years and generate a PDF summary inside of this directory. Okay, it's not Perplexity if we don't include the research capability. I think when it comes to research, Perplexity was great. I would say it is still among the best, if not the best, even though I actually have made some videos complaining about the recent changes or unpopular policies from Perplexity, like they're actually reducing the amount of credits without even telling the users first. So, but I think when it comes to the research capability, I think they're still among the best. I have to give it to Perplexity. Anyway, this might take for a while, so I'll just skip a while and we will move on after that. Alright, so it took a bit longer than I expected. It consumed about 13 minutes of usage. Now, to be clear, I'm not quite sure about how credits work in Perplexity Personal Computer. They have never been quite clear about how many credits that you have left on your account, and given that they kept changing the policies, it's very difficult to tell if this is good or bad. But basically, it used 8.1 credits, and I don't know how many credits I have left on my account, to be just to be honest. And yeah, I got the document, so I'll just open that PDF document. Yeah, it looks great. I think I have to give it to Cloud Opus. It is very, I would say the AI model Cloud Opus 5 is very good. It's very human. It sounds natural, and also it is very good at coding. That's why it can generate these great looking charts on the PDF document. And of course, Perplexity also has done something great when it comes to research. So yeah, it is definitely able to create or modify content in on your computer. Now, I wanna try to use this feature but hands-free. So I'm gonna be using my voice to tell AI, to guide AI to do something. Okay, I think I will start a new chat. And yeah, there's this voice mode. That's very interesting. And I'll just select that folder again. Okay. Still, okay. Now I want you to create an interactive website based on the PDF document in this folder.
I can help with that. Could you clarify which PDF document you're referring to, or describe its contents? That way I can locate it or know what to base the website on.
Yeah, it's a PDF document about electric bicycle trends since 2021 to 2026.
On it. The task to build an interactive website from that PDF is now running in the background, and I'll let you know when it's done.
Okay, so I guess that's it. And how many more minutes I have to wait until I can see the website? And can you make sure that the HTML file will be stored on the same location as the PDF document?
I can't give an exact time, but these tasks usually take a few minutes. I'll also let the task know to store the HTML file alongside the PDF. Please hold on a moment. I sent the instruction to store the HTML next to the PDF. It should be ready soon, and you'll see it when the task completes.
Got it.
Great. I'll keep an eye on it and let you know when the project is done. Feel free to ask if you need anything else in the meantime.
Okay, I just click stop, but I'm hoping that I'm just stopping that voice mode, but the task is still running in the background. I couldn't tell if it is running or not. I'm hoping that it is still running, so I'll just give it a few minutes and I'll be back, and hopefully we can see the website. Okay, so it took another 13 minutes to build this interactive website. Now, I don't see that HTML file in the same folder as the PDF document, but perhaps I can just click download and it might download the file. Okay, it's actually now on my downloads folder. So just let me show it to you. Okay, so this is the document. I think I'll just put it into the same location. Yeah, that's really strange that it's not storing the file into the same folder location, but at least I got the website. Okay, so this is the website. Yep, there are only 3 items: JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. I'm going to open it via the document browser. And there you go. So this is the website that was built based on that document. It was built using Perplexity Personal Computer. Yeah, I would say it is definitely a great looking website. It is very different than a few months ago, even though if you are using the same model, I would say right now we have a more robust environment for AI to build a more interesting looking website. So it is not just some random gradient color website. It is actually very faithful to the original look of the document. So I would say this is easily 8 or maybe 9 out of 10 website. And yeah, it took quite a while to finish. It took 30 minutes to build the document and also to build the website. So that's perhaps one big criticism towards this system. It is slower than the other options, but perhaps that's because we are using Claude Opus 5, which is a great model, but it is not as fast as, let's say, ChatGPT, GPT Terra, or maybe Claude Sonnet models. Yeah, perhaps in the future we can choose a different model, but right now our options are very, very limited. And what's interesting here is that when I chat or when I enable the voice mode in Perplexity Personal Computer, it doesn't automatically bring me into this page. So apparently, yes, it's actually running in the background, but if I want to see what's going on, if I want to see this chat, I have to navigate to the history manually and then open this particular chat. So it doesn't just lead you into that, you have to open it manually. So I'm not quite comfortable with that. So yeah, I think that's something that hopefully they can improve. Okay, right here, they offered me to publish the website even via Versal connector, and it actually uses some of my connectors. It tried to access the document via Google Drive and Notion, even though I specifically mentioned that I want to use the document that it just created on the same folder. But there is a mismatch here. It wasn't able to understand my intention, and on my previous setting, even though I specified that I give it access to that folder, it just doesn't look at that folder immediately, which is really, really strange. But anyway, at least it just created the website, which is fine. Now I want to see if if Perplexity Personal Computer can use the Comet browser. So let's try that. I'm going to Can you open chatgpt.com via the Comet browser, and then I want you to control the website and create a prompt, type a prompt that could be used to generate an image about yourself, and then send the message, and then tell me when you're done. Okay, via the Comet browser, I do have the Comet browser installed on my computer. This is the Comet browser, and as far as I know, there is no extra settings that I need to modify. So let's give it a shot and let's see if the claim is correct that the personal computer tool can immediately access the Comet browser. Okay, I'm still waiting. Okay, allow computer to use your browser. I will just click approve. Now let's see if it can access the browser. Okay, it is using a local browser. Okay, let's see if that meant actually the Comet browser. Yeah, it's still trying to open something. I don't see it. Okay, so yeah. It does use the Comet browser. It just opened a new tab actually under this group called computer. So yeah, it is now in control of the Comet browser of Perplexity Personal Computer, and yeah, it is controlling the browser itself. It's actually a good sign. And there you go. So it just sent the message and it should return back the report to me. Okay, yeah, it's true that it can use the Comet browser, and I think that's actually great. They just released the Comet browser, and then they have the desktop, a more dedicated desktop app. Other programs like ChatGPT and Claude, they usually will use a Chrome extension that you can install on Google Chrome or some other Chromium-based browsers. I think that's actually also a solution, but I think given that Perplexity has the browser and the desktop app, I think it's going to make the connection to be even more smooth, because in my experience when I'm using Claude and ChatGPT, they don't always reliably connect to the browser, even though I have installed the Chrome extensions dedicated to let these models to control the browser. So it is nice that Perplexity can easily just take over the control of this particular page and then follow my request and then control it, click on something, scroll the page, click on a button, etc. So you can imagine that you can use Perplexity personal computer to control the browser, to, you know, post something on social media, to use a particular tool, or to fill out some forms. You can definitely use AI for that. Of course, this is very, very slow because AI has to interact with the web page manually, but it is still very useful. That means that you can use AI to automate some of your most boring tasks. Okay, so I would say this is definitely a solid experience of Perplexity personal computer. There are a few things that I think they need to improve in the future, but at the moment, this is totally usable. This is quite similar to the quality of a more established name like ChatGPT or Claude. I'm still waiting for Gemini Spark to be available for Windows, and right now, if I would say Gemini models, they're not quite as good. And speaking about AI models, Perplexity has no model that they build themselves. They only have a model called Sonar 2. That's their model that was fine-tuned based on the Qwen model. And I think that's actually an important distinction that is worth telling, because unlike ChatGPT and Claude, where they have their own models and therefore there is no middleman, Perplexity has to pay the middleman, which in this case Anthropic, because they own the Claude Opus 5 model. So that means I think you are not going to be getting the same amount of value. You are, let's say you're paying $20 to Perplexity and Claude, but I think you can use Claude even more, and Perplexity cannot give you as many usage as you like, because they still have to pay some of that money back to Anthropic as the owner of the Claude model. So I think that's the fundamental difference between Perplexity and some other names out there. But still, I'm quite satisfied with this demo, with this testing. And I will definitely do more testings of Perplexity personal computer in the future, and I'll explore some capabilities that we can extract from this amazing piece of software. So if you are interested with that, you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on my next video. I wish you a great day ahead.